Welcome back this morning on Your Health, a guide to help you sort through sugar and sugar alternatives. There are so many options out there these days, but what are the pros and cons, and how do you decide what's best for you? Dr. Rekha Kumar is an endocrinologist at New York Presbyterian Weill Cornell Medical Center. Dr. Kumar, good morning.
Good morning.
I feel like we do have more choices than ever, all the different colored packets and liquids. And so, I mean, why do you think people are moving away from sugar and looking for these sugar alternatives?
So in general, people are moving away from table sugar or sucrose because we're in the middle of a diabetes and obesity epidemic in the United States. And for the past 20 to 40 years, most Americans have been consuming too much sugar for our health.
Yeah. And what are the pros and cons of going to a sugar alternative as opposed to just cutting out sweet stuff altogether?
So the pros of switching to an artificial sweetener or alternative could be that you still get the satisfaction of a sweet taste without the risks. So the cavities, the weight gain, the spike in blood sugar. So you still get the satisfaction of having something sweet without the health risks.
And what are some of the risks? Because, I mean, I've read stories, and I think there was a controversial study that the FDA didn't exactly approve of that suggested some of these sweeteners might be a carcinogen, a cancer causer. So what's the latest on that?
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. The concern has been that at high exposures over long periods of time, that there could be an increased risk of cancer or DNA damage when high levels of artificial sweeteners are consumed.
DNA damage, that sounds serious. What does that look like in real life?
Yeah, so what that means in real life, so DNA is the blueprint of everything that happens in our body. DNA lives inside of cells, and at high levels of sugar or artificial sweeteners, the ability of DNA to repair itself is inhibited. It's called oxidative stress. And when DNA can't repair the mistakes it makes, it increases the risk of inflammation, diabetes, cancer, and cardiovascular disease.
So when you're talking about all this range, I mean, there's the pink stuff, the yellow stuff, the blue stuff, there's the stuff you can squeeze in, stevia. I mean, I can't even keep it all straight. Is one better than the other in terms of your health?
So it totally depends who you are.
Yeah.
If somebody is young, lean, fit, I would say a bit of the real stuff, table sugar, is the way to go. If somebody is at risk of weight gain, concerned about their weight, has prediabetes or diabetes, they may want to switch to a non-nutritive sweetener. That means low-calorie, no-calorie alternative.
Okay.
And then there are ones that are made in a lab, like sucralose or Splenda, saccharin or NutraSweet, or aspartame, which we find in many diet sodas, NutraSweet and Equal. Those are chemically synthesized. They're extremely sweet. There are plant-derived non-nutritive sweeteners like stevia and monk fruit. So those are also alternatives. They're not quite as sweet. So it depends on the taste somebody likes and whether they are already accustomed to something very sweet, then they might use a saccharin or a Splenda.
And your palate gets used to it, doesn't it? I mean, and sometimes those like sugar substitutes are almost sweeter than sugar.
That's one of the concerns, actually, is that when you get used to these, your brain craves it, and it actually could alter feeding behavior, meaning that when you get used to this level of sweetness, regular naturally occurring sweetness, like in fruit, may not appeal to you anymore, and then you're constantly looking for this.
All right. Well, it's given us a lot to think about. Thank you so much, Dr. Kumar. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.